You're inside the cockpit of a NOAA P-3 Hurricane Hunter aircraft. This plane is full of scientists and they're flying above the frozen ice of the Beaufort Sea. Or you might know it as the Arctic, and it's very close to the North Pole. It's beautiful, right? But these scientists didn't come here to look out the window and enjoy the sunsets. The researchers were wondering, what's happening in the Arctic? Areas that were once covered in ice are now open ocean. So, what are the major differences between areas of open ocean once covered in ice and areas which still have ice coverage? Well, this is how you find out. Here's the P-3 in Seattle. This plane is nicknamed Kermit. There he is with a front row seat. This is Nick, and there's Muyin. They're both scientists with JASEA at the University of Washington, and they flew north 2,000 miles from Seattle, Washington to Fairbanks, Alaska. And this is where the real adventure begins. Or should I say, this is where the work begins. First thing in the morning, plans for the trip are discussed, the weather is reviewed, and safety emphasized. Then, final checks on the plane are made, everyone straps in, and it's time for a 2-hour journey north to the Beaufort Sea. Let the data collection begin. The expert pilot maneuvers Kermit up and down, first flying high, then dipping very low towards the ocean, and then flying high again. Think of it like a porpoise. At higher elevations, the team dropped equipment called dropsons. These tube-like instruments are connected to an upside-down parachute. They float down from the plane, measuring temperature, humidity, and pressure. The information is then sent back to the aircraft via radio and is displayed on a monitor for the scientists to review. At lower elevations, the plane flew as close to the ocean as 200 feet above the water's surface. That's low. Here, it dropped special buoys containing thin copper probes which measure temperature, salt content, and ocean currents. Finally, enough data has been collected for one day, and it's time for the 2-hour flight back to base. The measurements they have collected are important to understanding how climate change is affecting Arctic sea ice. This new data will help scientists understand changes in the Arctic and how these changes will affect future weather patterns around the world. And those views aren't too bad either.